Word is born, we back at it. It's K Brook, aka KB, K Boogie, the knowledge god, the gold child. What's happening? Just dropped the project, so I'm lit right now, you feel me? I feel like I just finished a big race, you know what I'm saying? Or like, I finished like a hard ass test, you know what I'm saying? I finally, and I got the results back, and I aced it. So I'm feeling good, bro. I'm feeling mad good. I've been working on this shit for like, God knows how long, since probably May, late spring, early summer. Like, my favorite part about making this project was the journey to me. Like, you know what I'm saying? Just having a bunch of people collaborate with me, like meeting new faces, meeting like-minded individuals, you know what I mean? Who just make dope shit. Cause that's what it's all about to me, bro. It's just like making creative shit, you know, putting your concepts to life, making dope ass shit. And then, you know, the icing on top is having people who are like-minded with you, you know what I'm saying? Who are willing to do that kind of work with you. Like, that's the best right there, bro. That's the kind of shit that I live for when it comes to this music shit. Like, just like having other people bring their world into mine, you know? And kind of like blending them and making something entirely new. That's kind of like been the beauty of this journey, is just like having people tag along with me. Everything was produced by me. Shout out to my boy Zach Bordeaux. He did engineer, specifically he mastered 2 beats, and those were 2 features that I had on the joint. But yeah, everything was produced, mixed, mastered mostly by me. All the beats were me, and bro, I take pride in my production, son. Like, I think I hold that shit down just as well as the raps. Like, I don't think one carries the other, you know what I'm saying? Like, my raps and my beats, you know, they complement each other and they blend together, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, that just comes with what's on my mind. Because to me, like, beats are like the atmosphere to the track, you know what I'm saying? They're like the tone. Like, you know how in like literature you have like your literary devices, you have like mood, tone, you know, you got atmosphere, you have your metaphoric devices. You know, I kind of like, I see hip hop as like literature, because literally this shit is like rhythmic poetry, you know what I'm saying? So like, I take that into account when I'm making the shit. So with beats, that's like the tone, that's like the mood, you know what I'm saying? It's like the atmosphere. So producing, I always have that in mind as I'm building this landscape for my lyrics, because that's really what production is at its core for me when I'm making this. So, you know, this whole project kind of had like a religious motive going, which a lot of people probably caught on to who listened. You know, the titles, even a lot of the bars, the lyrics, and even the subject matter. So I wanted a lot of the beats to convey that with like a lot of like regal elements, a lot of orchestral. You know, you have choirs at the intros of some of the songs, like Pharisees, Judah, things like that. Even Ephesians in the outro, you have this choir that like closes the song off, you know what I'm saying? Because I wanted to kind of convey that. I wanted to evoke the subject matter that, you know, I'm bringing to the table. The more I get a grasp on it, the more enjoying it is for me. But writing is like the core of this, man. Like, when it comes to this shit, I'm a writer first. So a lot of the writing came with doing a lot of reading, you know what I'm saying? Like, just reading books in general, you know, just getting back to reading and sharpening my mind, which, you know, in hand kind of sharpens the pen, you know what I'm saying? When you're just exposing yourself to vocabulary. So a lot of reading, you know, a lot of studying, you know, reading accounts from the Bible, reading accounts from the Quran, like taking in these different things that I wanted to bring into the project, you know, just soaking it in. And, you know, just trying to resonate with all of that stuff, you know, and get myself into that space for my writing. So a lot of the writing process comes with that, you know, just like getting myself into the headspace, you know, soaking in the game and putting that shit pen to paper, you know what I mean? And then, yo, man, features, son, y'all niggas snap, bro. One love to my boy DJ Lowen, bro. That's my dog, bro. My boy. This man is the craziest DJ in West Palm, bro. I swear to God. Like, he just, like, he has, like, this love for music. This almost, like, childlike love for it that I relate to a lot. So I love working with him. He actually did the end of the intro. He added this cool little, like, ear scratching effect. It's super fucking cool, bro. And he just really, like, he set that off, bro. Because, like, when we were working on that song, I didn't know it was going to be the intro for the album. I didn't even know it was going to be on the album. So, you know, him doing that, like, kind of changed the whole framework I had already for it. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to my boy DJ Lowen. That's my dog. Shout out to my boy Benny. Benny goes crazy, man. This man, he's got the knowledge, just a pure soul, man. You know what I'm saying? An authentic soul. Like, bro, I just love talking to Benny, bro. It don't even gotta be music related. Just talking to him about life or just being in his presence. So, like, you know, him bringing his mind and his perspective onto the track that we did called Architects. Bro, I think Benny was the first feature, actually, too. Like, it's kind of funny. The features all kind of, like, fell into place because the first half of the project, those features, everyone I met in order. So I met my boy Lowen, then he introduced me to Benny, then introduced me to Doppler, who was on the next song, Judah. Shout out to my boy Doppler. Great man, bro. Great friend, great mind. You know what I'm saying? It's great to have people around you who make like-minded music and like the same stuff, but also give you different perspectives and unique perspectives on the things that you do or life. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, he's always a great friend. He always has his doors open for anybody. Great guy, bro. Crazy ass lyricist too. Him and Benny snapped on this shit. And yo, when I got that shit back, I was just like, yeah, I already knew this. I knew this project was gonna be special, bro. As soon as I got that shit, because I was just like, yo, he like took the energy I brought to it, like took the flag and just like ran with it, bro. Then my boy Wody on the next track, Armageddon. One love to my dog Wody. So, funny thing about this song, I tell everybody. So with Armageddon, I made this beat back in like March. So I made this beat before I even thought of a project. But I knew I wanted that nigga on the beat because I saw him in Sound Lab. Shout outs to Sound Lab and Respectable. But yeah, I saw their account. I was just trying to look through the scene, see what was going on. Saw that motherfucker freestyle. I was like, yo, this nigga can rap, son. Gotta get him on the joint. And you know, I didn't even know if that was gonna work out. You feel me? That was way back. I'm seeing this nigga online. We could have not have fucked with each other. You know what I'm saying? Like, it could have easily just not have worked out. So for it to work out and for the stars to align, bro, mad happy. None but love to my dog Wody, bro. That's my New York nigga too. But yeah, man, features. I love every single one. Shout out to my boy Q. Disciples is like one of my favorite shits right now, bro. We did our shit on that. That was us kind of like paying homage back to hip hop and what it means for both of us, because we just did a project called Non-Existent. You can check that out too. That was a whole collab project. So I definitely want to cue in on this project coming fresh off of that. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to bring him into my main world. You know what I mean? Because the collab project was us blending our worlds, not really us going into either one. So I definitely wanted him in on this shit. And shout out to my sis Q, or my sis Q. Shout out to my sis True Rain, Limelight sis. She is mad fucking, bro. Talented, bro. Deadly on the mic. Like, her voice is just like, needed her on a track. Like, she's a part of our collective called Limelight. Shout out to my collective. So as soon as I heard her and her music, I was like, yeah, son, I gotta get her on this shit, bro. Like, she just has that, like, she has that soul in her voice, bro. And hip hop and R&B and soul are all like cousins to me. You feel me? Like, R&B was selling records before hip hop, as far as I'm concerned. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I definitely wanted to have her on there to pay homage to that aspect of hip hop. You know, having a female on the hook, having the, you know, the vocalist there with you, just to like bring that chemistry and energy to it, you know? Just bring something different to the project, because, you know, mad niggas was rapping before that. So, yeah, man. Love to my features, bro. One thing I hope people take from this project is, to kind of walk the globe with an open mind. You know what I'm saying? Don't place all your faith and all of your thinking into one thing. You know what I'm saying? Kind of be like water, be flexible. You know what I'm saying? Flow with what's going on around you, kind of soak things in, be open to different perspectives, different religions, mainly that, because a lot of this album tackles me kind of challenging ideas of religion, mostly Christianity, because, as a black man, a lot of us are raised on that, you know what I'm saying? And having faith is a beautiful thing, but it's also good to be open-minded to other people's faiths, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm sure all of us as black people have dealt with those indifferences towards religious beliefs, you know what I'm saying? Or just people feeling threatened when you challenge those beliefs. So, mainly. So that's kind of what I was trying to do on the project, is question a lot of beliefs, challenge these ideas, and just straight up tell you, there's a line between, faith and reality, you know what I'm saying? One of the things I tackle in a song called Ephesians is, this idea, this belief that I stand firmly by. And that belief is that, God has everything here placed for you. You know what I'm saying? You just gotta, it's up to, it starts with you. It's on you to sort that out. A lot of people wait for God and, they wait for things to fall in place. But it goes against his teachings at the same time, because in the Bible, it is stated that God condemns sloth. And I say that in the second song of the project, God condemns all sloth, so I hustle my stuff. So I'm literally telling you, yo, man, you can't wait for nothing, bro. You got to get it on your own too. Now, God placed that for you to get. That is, he put these things in place for you, but you know what I'm saying? It's ultimately up to you. And that's kind of like the overarching message of the project. You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of why I called it Naor. That's my middle name. Naor is an actual figure in the Bible who traveled to places, and he was a pivotal figure in his own family, and he was a descendant of the Israelites. So that's why a lot of the motifs you see and a lot of the themes and a lot of even the visuals that I have and even the way that I fucking dress, you know what I'm saying? All of that kind of aligns with the themes of the project and this world that I'm trying to create through it. You know what I'm saying? Because this is only the start. At the time that we're chatting about this, Act 3 ain't even out yet. Act 3 is going to have a completely different lineup of features. It's not going to be like the EP where I had a few people who are on the EP on the album. This last act is going to be entirely new people. And similarly to the album, these are people, that I've met along the way of making these songs. So, it only felt right to, have them join the world. Like I was saying, just the beauty of having them, be a part of it. So, definitely looking forward to that. Act 3, it's called The Limbo. That'll be out in the middle of January. I try to keep my head in a good space, you know what I'm saying? I try to stay grounded. That's the main thing, just staying in the present, staying grounded with reality, staying focused. So, I wake up, gym, that shit ain't changing a minute. Just gymming, bro, keeping your physical straight keeps your mind straight, bro. The mind, body, and soul are intertwined, bro. You gotta keep all of them correct, you know what I'm saying? Eventually, I want to get into therapy, you know what I'm saying? Unpeeled new aspects about myself, or maybe new things, new flaws that I might be unaware of, you know what I'm saying? Just unlocking new elements to myself so that I'm complete throughout this journey, you know what I'm saying? The goal is to kind of strive towards completion. And not perfection per se, you know what I'm saying? But just feeling whole, you know what I mean? So I feel like that comes with not just training your body, but training your mind too. And that's what therapy is to me, is, you know, you're training your mind. You don't just go to therapy, feel better, and stop. You know, you keep going, you know, you train your mind, you explore. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like my boy told me this, shout out to my brother Deb, but like, life is all perspective, man. You know, this shit is just an ongoing conversation. So with that in mind, I try to stay grounded, and, you know, I just try to stay in alignment with what my purpose is and what I feel that purpose is. We need it the most, to me, you know what I'm saying? Like, this has been generations of that, just trauma and, you know, us sweeping it under the rug. So I think, you know, black community, we need it, especially compared to a lot of people, you know? Like, not to compare, but, you know, from my experience as a black person, like, that shit important, bro. Like, I think the thing with therapy that makes it hard for people is that a lot of it's uncomfortable, you know what I'm saying? You gotta sit with a lot of uncomfortable things about yourself. You have to come to terms with a lot of truths, and you have to work towards them too. So it's looking in the mirror and then changing what's in the mirror. It's like, those are two very hard things for anybody, you know what I'm saying? But I think that's what holds people back from it. But I think that shit's important, bro. That keeps your mind in a safe place, you know? For this coming year, yo, I want to get some comics out. I'm a big artist, like, not just music, drawing and shit too, bro. I've been drawing before I was rapping. I've been drawing before I knew how to write. So I've been drawing for a majority of my life, since I was probably like 2 or 3. So I definitely want to get some art out. And as y'all see, I put a lot of art out with my music. You know, I do my covers, I do my visuals, I do the backgrounds in the videos a lot. Like, I really I want to continue for next year to build this world that I'm creating with the music. I want to add all the elements, the visuals. You know, I want to pour all my skills into it, because I think having talents and giving them purpose is important, bro. And I feel like everybody has that. It's just a matter of finding it, you know, and just honing in on it. A lot of people don't get that opportunity, but yeah, definitely next year I want to use, you know, just the God-given talents and take them further. For sure, the music, I'm gonna have more projects out. I'm gonna have, you could expect this coming year, you could expect about 3 or 4 projects. Like I was saying before, yo, you know, believe in yourself first, you know what I'm saying? Believe in what you want, but, you know, stay open-minded, be yourself, and it's you first, bro. There's a story called The Drowning Man, and I reference this in my project too, but there's a man at the top of his house while it is sinking, and basically the whole point of it is what I was trying to discuss before, but the man has these things in place for him to use to get out of the water, but he chooses to wait for God. So first, someone with the lifeboat comes by, and they give him a float. They offer it to him. He declines and says he'll wait for God. Then someone with a boat comes, a literal rescue boat. He waits on God. Then a helicopter, waits on God. He drowns and ends up in heaven, and then questions why God didn't help him. But God tells him, I gave you a float. I gave you a boat. I gave you a helicopter, nigga. So it all starts with you at the end of the day. That's my point. God puts these things in place, but it's really up to you to navigate through this world that God made. You know what I'm saying? It's up to you to push yourself further. You can't just wait on anybody. You can't, even God. Because as the Bible says, he condemns sloth. So waiting is slothful to me. You know, you got to get it. But it's okay to have faith. I acknowledge that in the project too, you know what I'm saying? I even believe in God. I have my own faith, but I also understand, you know, there's levels to that shit, and there's still accountability at the end of the day, regardless of what your spirituality is. It's K Boogie. Shout outs to Respect the Vibe. Respect the motherfucking culture, son. We out.